We are live. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is the MMA Huddle. It's great to be back for another week's breakdown. We have Michelle Waterson taking on Mariana Rodriguez in a new headline on the promotion due to injuries from the fight card, which is a shame because we missed out on Corey Sandhagen and TJ Dillashaw, which in itself was a mouth-watering prospect. But don't get me wrong, there is fights on this card, which I think a lot of people are going to be looking over, and I want to say that there are some good fights on this card to look forward to. We've got Magny against Geoff Neal. You've also got Amanda Ribas is back. What's that? Amanda's ass. No, Amanda Ribas. Not talking about her ass. That's just you. Then you've got Diego Ferreira against Greg Gillespie. Sick little matchup there. So there are fights on this fight card, which I am genuinely looking forward to. So it isn't a complete write-off. We're not losing out on every fight. I do apologize as well, maybe about the stream, because it's shit weather. And apparently, because I've got a Wi-Fi box there, it affects the laptop here, even though the weather's out there. So it is what it is. Anyway, folks, I want to say thank you for joining in. Everyone who is thank you very much. Me and Will are appreciative. It's been great to see the channel still growing, and it's just something we love doing. It's something I love to see on the live streams. Last week we had a lot of numbers. Now I am doing the live stream this bank holiday weekend earlier because, if I'm honest with you, I'm going to have a little evening free to myself to relax, and that's what I'm looking forward to. So I'm doing the podcast this afternoon on a Monday. Let's just get into this now. Marina Rodriguez, sick little matchup for the main event, but you've also got other bouts on there. Last week, we did see Dominic Reyes get smoked again. He has turned off the comment section as well on his social media. He does not like getting hit in the face. Can understand why. He got absolutely mollywopped again. That's 2 in a row, 2 losses. What do you do with Dominic Reyes now? Does he get another 185 in a fight at 205 to put up his confidence? Does he fight? Who would you give him? Maybe Jimmy Crute? Maybe. I don't know. Something like that might suit him well, that kind of matchup. But either way, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do now with Jiri. He's an absolute savage. Do they put him as a backup spot for Glover and Yan? Or do they let Yan and Glover face off, and then after that matchup, then who knows? I'm looking forward to the matches and what they could do with this kid. Exciting guy to have in the 205 division. Violence, haircuts, the lot. We also saw Cowboy Cerrone and Diego Sanchez fight get pulled. And if you didn't see what was going on, I don't know where you've been. The Fabio, whatever his name is, conundrum still going on. The guy's wacky. He's out of his mind in a way, and he's messing up Diego's kind of chance to get in fights and fighting correctly. Is what it is. We're not going to see Diego fight for belts. He might go Rizin might get him. Don't know if Bellator will touch him. There's certain promotions I don't think we want to go near him. We'll see how he goes with that. He might do bare knuckle boxing. If he's getting paid wedge, he's getting paid wedge, so it doesn't matter for him. What else have we seen this past week go on the fight game? Giga got a good win against Cub Swanson. It is a tough one to Cub there. It's like, where's he go now of his career? We also lost on this one. Holly Holm and Juliana Pena was meant to be on this card, which is a great fight. You had Figueiredo against Flick, another great fight. What else do we have on this fight card? Modafferi against Tyler Santos. So to be fair, there was a handful of sweet little fights there that was meant to go on, but we've lost them. It's over. We draw a line. Let's move on. Let's look at these fights and let's get breaking them down, guys and girls. Now let's jump on to the fight card. I'm going to get the first lot of fights up first and foremost. As always, while you've got a moment, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Hit the like button if you get a second. It only takes a second, girl, to fall in love. So just hit that that button there, subscribe and like button. We're nearly at 1,300, which is a number that me and Will will be happy to get to. It's incremental, takes its time to get there. I know I've not been doing interviews of late. I'm moving it's all going on. I hope to one day get back in the interview game. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy talking to the girls and boys of the fight game and helping people in the amateur scene and even the lower ranks of the pro scene to get them and follow them in their career paths. But anyhow, let's get the clock on here. Boom, boom. We're going to start off with Ľudovít Klein against Mike Trizano. They are kicking off the card I have here before me on the Tapology. I don't know if that's true or not, but we're going to go with it anyway. Mike Trizano is a guy who is from the Ultimate Fighter, very well-rounded guy, had good performances. I liked what he did against the Joe Gennett fight, was a good one, split decision, but then the Luis Pena fight, another split, he looked good, and he looked okay in that one. There was kind of holes there that I kind of worried about. And the Grant Dawson, that was when it kind of stuck out. You think to yourself, and it's been 2 years, don't forget, since he's fought then. That was a lot of pressure from Grant Dawson, a lot of top game there. He didn't like that. He kind of likes to be the more dominant guy in the fight. He's fighting a guy in Ľudovít Klein, who I've watched now a few of his fights, like I say. He fought, obviously, Shane Young in the UFC, performed stellar. And if you look at him, though, outside of the UFC, he has got one of the very nicest little combinations where he flicks that left head kick, and it's so smooth and deadly. Big fan of it. You know, he landed it a couple of times. If you watch his career, when you go back in the day, when he fought on Aiden Lee back in 2017, only 4 years ago, mind, but that was early in his career, so to speak, earlier on, and he lost that fight with the rear neck choke. Since then, been on a tear. His striking's come along leaps and bounds with the footwork, movement. He's a bit more graceful, a lot more impressive what he can do. Mike Trizano, when he's getting tagged by Luis Pena, Grant Dawson's able to get him down. Mike Trizano in this fight needs to get the fight to the ground. If he cannot get the fight to the ground here, I feel he's going to come up short. I feel his striking will be there, but Klein's got a far smoother, far stronger strike game between the two of them. I don't think you're going to see Mike Trizano get Klein down for the 3 rounds, keep him there, get a submission game. You know, Klein's had, like I say, that lost Aiden Lee back then. He's had years to develop himself, grow, and even improve his grappling game. I can see the little jittery comes up. It comes up a bit jittery the stream. Do apologize. I'll make it as smooth as I can. And hopefully the Wi-Fi doesn't kick out completely, but I don't think the weather's going to get any better, which is a bit of a pain. But anyway, I am going to go and pick our boy Klein. I think he might stop Trizano. I think his hands are heavy. I think his power's there. I think he's 100% got the ability to mess some folks up. So, yeah, I'm going on the Klein train all day long. So next up we have, let's go here, 59. Now, I know there will be Choi B, great to see you. Has Big Willie retired from the huddle? Choi, he has not retired from the MMA huddle. All that's happened, mate, is it was a week and a half without his Wi-Fi, so he was using his mobile phone internet connection. Obviously, on his phone, he's using his Wi-Fi off his phone, tethering off his phone. He's limited on contracts, how much internet you have. Obviously, this is we're doing this when we stream together. It's about we're online for maybe an hour and a half. Sometimes it can be an hour and 45 because obviously we do stuff before, we do stuff after. So he was a bit stuck with that one. Then he has announced, if you saw on social media, that his missus have another kid. So he's been very busy with that. They're looking to buy a house as well. So he's had a lot on where he couldn't actually get, even if he's admitted himself, he's doing the podcast and still on his channel, but he's not been able to get the time to maybe do this win with me. And he's also had like not as much tape studies he normally would get in, brother. But he is going to be back for, if you let me get up the schedule, I'll tell you when we're going to get Big Willie back. So I'll be dropping him a message, obviously, this week, arranging the times, etc. Let me go into next week. There you go. Simple as that. Next week, Big Willie's back because you got the Oliveira and Chandler fight. The UFC pay-per-view card where you got Leon Edwards, Nate Diaz, Tony Ferguson, Beneil Dariush. Yeah, no, I actually quite like that card a lot already. That main card is pretty stacked. So, yeah, Big Willie's back then, Troy. So, my friend, thank you very much for the question. He will be back. So, don't fear. My boy will be back. I do need to get my thumb out and arrange other guests other kind of streamers, other friends that do the podcast game and get them on instead of Will during the week. And when he's not here, I just have been a bit tied up myself because of my personal life. there is things going down my side too. My background might change, as in where I'm based and where I'm at. But don't fear, Nate will be with me always. Next up, we have, like I said, I was going to mention the next fight there, and I kind of got distracted by the fantastic question there, Troy. We have Tafon Nchukwi against June Yong Park in the middleweight division. Now, this one is going to be not the highest level of MMA, I don't feel. I think it's going to be a dirty, grimy fight. One thing I liked about Jun Yong Park is, guys, he has got a good IQ in the fight game. He fought John Phillips, and all he did was wrestle John Phillips, took him down, got on top of him, wrestle. It is the way to go. I know the stream is breaking a bit. It's because we've got horrendous weather outside. It's really taking a toll on the Wi-Fi, so apologies for the stream maybe being a bit jittery, but if you can, hopefully the audio quality is good. I can't hear the quality that you guys are hearing. I hope the audio is fantastic, though, and holding off at least. Yeah, with John Phillips, he'd had a great fight game, didn't stand and bang with someone who's more dangerous on the feet than he is on the ground. John Phillips, for his whole UFC tenure, couldn't be asked to work out what a takedown defense was, and thus the blueprint was made for him to beat him to every time he lost. With Marc-Andre Barrou, back and forth battle, another guy who likes to clinch, get on the cage, dirty box. Marc-Andre was nothing impressive. Yeah, Anthony Hernandez fight. Anaconda choke. It was a nice submission by Hernandez. He's got a sneaky good submission game, which we all found out when he fought Rodolfo Vieira. That caught me off guard. But for me, yeah, I was really impressed with what June did in that fight game against Phillips with the fight IQ. I liked it. Tafon and Nchukwi, he's another guy. Jamie Pickett was a suitable guy with good experience, couple of losses. But Jamie Pickett held his own in the first round, and you saw that Tafon just in that second, third round really started to gone out of his punches, was coming forward, was not really scaring Jamie Pickett that much. Obviously, Jamie Pickett in the cage was feeling the power that was not there and that what was there. So there is holes in this guy's game. Tafon, super young in his career. When you're 4-0 going to UFC for your fifth fight, you've got a lot to learn, and you've got a lot to do in one match. But for me, Tafon here, I think he needs to obviously keep the fight to the ground. I think you might see Jung Yong Park again go for a grappling-based game. He seemed to be able to last well. He seemed to be able to not tire out too much himself. He seemed to have good conditioning. When you find a guy like Tafon, who's strong as an ox, he might be harder to get down. But I'm actually going to go towards Jung Yong Park here. I'm just not sure about Tafon. You know, he's got insane power, hits like a freight train, but I can see that bloody little symbol coming up for the signal. I feel that Jung Park here has got the potential to get the grappling, takedowns, and get the W that way. So I'm actually going towards, believe it or not, a decision win. I think he might just tire out Tafon and get him down to the ground, or even after like 1 or 2 rounds, just tire him out, get himself a nice little W, and away he goes. You know, I think he can get this W here. We have next up in the 170-pound division. Here we go. We have Christian Aguilera against Carlston Harris. Here we go. But he is slow in speed, Tafon. Joy, he is slow in speed. That's the thing. He's not the fastest hitter. He hits obviously hard. I think if I was Tafon, I'd be trying to use the grappling clinch game on the cage to keep the guy in range, single collar tie around the head, short shots, really hurt him that way, or box a little bit of dirt boxing, grab him, get him to the cage, release from the cage, combinations, initiate the clinch, break, initiate the clinch. If I'm Tafon, that's my fight game plan. That's what I want to do. I want to keep the fighters close to me. I don't want to give them space and movement where my range isn't there. Tafon hasn't got range footwork or the range management. If you go in his range, that's where he's open. So I think you might see a grappling aspect, and I think Tafon might have a bit of a rough time with it. I don't think he's a bad fighter. The guy's got potential. He just needs to, go to the right gym, train with the right guys, add more and more to his game. But this fight we've got here in Aguilera against Harris, Now, Harris making his UFC debut. He's fought on like Shuto, UAE. He's fought on Brave FC. The dude's been around the block on the regional side of things. He's had some great little contests against stellar opposition for the. He fought Wellington back in Immortal, 5 years ago. Got that win. Carl Booth, if you're UK MMA kind of know all, you'll know Carl Booth. He's a solid UK fighter. Beat him in 2017. The dude's had a fair few good fights around the game. He has been a bit quiet on the fight scene. He fought like in 2017. Then he went once in 18, once in 19, once in 20, and then 2021. So he has been a bit quiet with his regularity of fighting. Bit of a question mark for me on why he's been quiet with his fight game. I'm not quite sure why he's not in it. I don't know what's going on with him, but if you watch him fight, the dude's not bad at all, man. I got to be honest with you. I think he's a solid dude. I think he's got a threat on the ground. He's got decent hands, solid little clinch game. He can take guys to the ground as well. He can fight for the grappling aspect, which is what I love to see in him. He's got decent striking, but goes for the takedowns too. He's got that reach and length on him. Man, he's a tough cookie in general. If you look at Aguilar, he fought Sean Brady, who is a tough out for anyone in the 170 division. I think Sean Brady's a wicked little talent. I think he's got a great skill set. The Anthony Ivy fight, he got the lovely win, 1 minute, bang, but then I think it was a bit of a step up. Sean Brady just kind of got outclassed there, kind of got outstruck, out footworked, range wasn't there. I thought that his takedown defense, grappling aspect, he just kind of got a bit overwhelmed by someone of a really high level, especially on the ground. Sean made it look easy on the ground, like hot knife cutting through butter, had no problems. I think Christian here might actually have a problem with Harris. I think he'll have a tough time with it. I think the range will be a thing that he might have a problem with, trying to get the distance in, because I think Harris is decent with his striking. I think he throws nice 1-2s. He's got nice kicks. He's got good uppercuts as well. I think he can mix all his strikes well together, but he also shoots for those takedowns. And I think with Aguilar, if he can bait in Aguilar to a striking exchange, you might see Harris get a takedown. And if there's an opportunity to get him down to the ground, Aguilar, I'm going to go for it. Get him down, try to get that submission game going. Really pushes, put the pressure on him, really see what he's all about. I think Harris should be doing really well in this fight. He's got a wicked skill set, like I've said before. He does get hit, don't get me wrong. He has been hit by strikes before and he has lost. But then again, you look at Aguilar, he as well has lost to strikes, he's lost decisions, he lost a bit. So I'm not saying they're chinny at all. I'm just saying they are susceptible to getting hits. I just think Harris, he's actually a decent dude, man. I think he's going to be a wicked little addition to the welterweight division. I think he can do a lot in the division. I think he'll get at least maybe top confident picks. Combat study, bro. Great to see you. My confidence picks. Let me just go to the fight card. Confident picks. Tell you what. Amanda Ribas has got to be on there. Angela Hill. I just don't have a lot of confidence in Hill beating someone like Ribas. Let's see here. Marina Rodriguez. I'm confident she'll beat Waterson. Let's go with Neal Magny as well. I think I maybe go with Neal Magny on confident picks. And obviously, I'm giving everyone a heads up about my picks for later on. But yeah, I'll probably go something like that. Combat study, bro. I'll probably go something like that, mate. Let me know who you're picking, dude, man. Who have you got? What picks wise are you going for? But yeah, I'm going to go with Carlston Harris here. I think he's got the absolutely ability to put on a bit of a showcase for us with his skill set and what he can do. So not that I'm heavy on him, but I'm more confident in that. I'm inclined to him. And let's go to the big boy division next, the heavyweights. Got to say, it's a light. When I say light, it's like a light heavyweight. It's a heavyweight fight, but it's light on paper. It's not a big fight. Maurice Greene, Marcos Rodrigo de Lima. Uber not excited about this. I had to watch tape study on it. I don't think either of them are that great. I don't know how. Oh, by the way, yeah, this week's edition is brought to you by Monster Energy Sugar Free. You heard me, Monster. Just feel free to send me as many free cans as you want. As many as you want. Yeah, I don't get Maurice Greene. The dude is 6'7", 82-inch reach, 9'5" fights, and he gets knocked on his arse and gets sparked. I don't get it. I don't get a guy who can't do that. I get he can't defend takedowns or defend submissions that well. I'm cool with that. Absolutely cool with it. But the dude is not that confident on the feet, man. Like Junior Albini win. Like, to be fair, Junior Albini, he wears a freaking nappy in the cage. Like, I can't get on board with that, man. Albini was just gopping. Gian Vellante, who's just a fat light heavyweight, and he only got round 3 he got him out on. I mean, I've got no confidence in Maurice Greene. But then again, the issue I've got is he's fighting Marcos Rodrigo de Lima. I've got freaking no confidence in this dude either in picking him. He's just like Ben Sassola he beat. Big whoop. Adam Vorishadek. Big whoop. Jeremy Kimball. Big freaking whoop. I don't get it. Clinton Hester. He beat Clinton Hester in 2016, and that was back at light heavyweight. How crazy is that? And Clinton Hester was a middleweight, I'm sure he was. But, man, I don't get excited when this kid fights, man. This Rodrigo's powerful. He cracks hard. He's a one-round or nothing fighter, De Lima. He wants to get you out of there quick. He wants that. That's all he wants is that W. Maurice Greene can't fight, doesn't handle the range well. Really bad defense on the striking. Leans back, opens his chin. Hasn't got the kicks that he should be using. Should be using front teep kicks. He should be using his jabs like there's no tomorrow. He should be boxing the face off people, but I don't know why. You tend to see it with guys who haven't got a great fight IQ like him. He brings his fight game to the height of the fighter he's fighting. So rather than fight like he's 6'7" and making people adjust to him, it feels like he adjusts to guys that are lower than him. And doing that opens up the defense to getting hit, and he does get hit too much. Man, I don't have a big confidence pick in this one because, like, Rodrigo got the forearm choke and got put to sleep against Ramonov. Didn't even try to get him off him. Struve got the submission. Do you know what? I'm going to go De Lima. I don't think I'll tell you why I picked De Lima. De Lima doesn't get Maurice Greene ain't going to submit him. I can't see it happening. I think he'll be on the feet the whole time. De Lima's going to be like a little short dude charging forward. Maurice Greene's going to have bad footwork going back and be open to getting hit. I ain't confident in this pick. I'd love to know what you guys think is going to happen because I think it's a low-level heavyweight fight and it's one I'm not overly bothered about. I think if either one lose, you cut them. Nobody's going to sit there and miss either one of these guys. And I feel bad for saying this, but it's like we've went from one fight to another fight. Let's go for it. Here we go. Daniel, great to have you on, mate. I know it's a bank holiday. I'm doing things super early. It's a bit off cuff, but I've got to have an evening to myself this evening, so I'm taking advantage of it, makes I'm not working. Fight to start round 2 might be cute. Okay. Is that in regards to the Lima fight and Greene fight, bro? Mate, I think it's going to be a rough fight to watch. Leg kicks by De Lima. Troy, leg kicks. I'll tell you what, that is something he has got, brother. He's got powerful leg kicks. Like, the dude cracks them heavy. He goes full tilt. That does take a bit of energy out of him. That's why he's a first round. He goes full bore that first round. And all of a sudden, he just goes in the second and third round. He just has got nothing left in the tank. He's gone. But his leg kicks are nasty. So anyway, we are going, like I said, down in divisions, quite low to 125. But we're also dropping down in standard, I feel. You have got, here we go, Zarrukh against Adashev and then facing off Ryan Benoit. Not the greatest fight. Okay. Here we go. Start round 2 for De Lima Greene. Might be evens. Yeah, I agree, Daniel. I haven't seen the odds for that. I don't think those will be out yet, will they? It'll just be straight picks at the moment for the fight card itself. But I'll be jumping onto the betting side later on anyway to see what kind of odds we've got this week. Obviously, it's so much of a miss, kind of fights dropping out. I don't know what they're going to be doing with this. I don't even know if the main event is a 5-round event, to be honest with you. I don't recall seeing it noted anywhere. So if it is, it is. If it's not, whoops. We got Ryan Benoit, he's lost 2 in a row. Now, questionably lost to Tim Elliott. Somehow it was a unanimous decision. I say questionable because he did get a little bit outstruck, but at the same time, he did land the better shots. Then he lost to Alatang, another split decision. Lost to Brendan Moreno, split decision. The dude is tough. He's got output. I would like to see a bit more output from him, but he's got a bit of everything about him. He's got a takedown game. He can crack hard. You got Adashev, who came in short notice, and he was 3-1 against Tyson Nam at 135 and got absolutely mullerized, sparked out, didn't know what day was, flatlined, right? Fair enough. Short notice fight can happen to anyone. He took advantage, got into UFC. Then he fought Majiri Shu, and he was just outclassed. Like he couldn't. His striking is a burst. He's an explosive burst, and that's it. He hasn't got the angles. He doesn't do much excitement with that round of things. He comes forward, bursts, power, and then that's it again. It's like a recharge, and he just comes back around, resets, does the same thing again in that way. Couldn't get takedowns, nothing. Ryan Benoit, at least with him, the dude's got takedowns. He's got striking. He's got footwork. He can mix it up. The kid's a talented dude. I like what he can do. I feel a bit sorry for him in some facets of some of the fights he's had where he's just come a bit short at times. He's like the problem we got flyweight division. It's so shallow, but if he was like the 155 division, he'd be like your middleman. He'd be your middleman who are top 20, top 15, top 10. They're not the worst guys. He's like the kind of middle ground. He'll get a couple of wins, a couple of losses, but he sticks around. He's a good kind of benchmarker for fighters and getting their way into the flyweight division. I think Ryan Benoit here. He's on for a W. If he loses this fight, he doesn't want to quit. He obviously gets cut by the UFC. He just wants to retire. He should be beating someone like Adashev. I just haven't seen much from Adashev that makes me think the kid's going to do anything special. I think Adashev's going to come in aggressive. I think he's going to come in swinging. I think he's going to come in throwing heavy hands. But I think you got Ryan Benoit. He's got the takedowns to catch him with that. I think he's got the handiwork. He's got the footwork. I think out of the fight itself, it's not a great fight. They are lower standard, don't get me wrong. But Benoit's definitely a better fighter. I think he's definitely fought the higher level dudes in the UFC. He's fought the highest standard. When you're fighting Tim Elliott, that's a 3-round pace. When you know you got Tim Elliott in front of you, you know for 3 rounds you can't turn off because the dude doesn't stop. He keeps coming. And that's something I think Benoit's got in him. He's got a wicked little gas tank. He does a lot of hard work and he puts a lot of graft in. He's done work with Duke Rufus in the past with his striking. I think he should be doing well in this fight. I think he should hold his own. So I'm kind of going with Ryan Benoit here. I think W by decision or maybe hands later on. But either way, I think one of these boys is getting the pink slip in this one, definitely. Look at this. Zarrukh might be a sneaky dog play. He hung in there with a KO artist his last outing. He did hang in there. He did hang in, I admit. But Nam isn't a knockout artist by trade, really. And I think that was one of the kind of things that I know Nam's a 125 as much as he is, and he fought 135, but he can hold his own. But I think Ryan Benoit can hold his own. I think Ryan Benoit's got a bit more of an output with the strikes landed he could put in there. It's a bit of a tough one. Adam, great to have you on, bro. I know it's a random midday podcast, but it's only because I'm having to leave it to myself, like I've said before. The main event, bro. Now, I'm not stoked on it, but we've got to take it for what it is. You've got to remember, you had Corey Sanhagen and TJ Dillashaw get pulled. Now, the likelihood was they were going to put Diego Sanchez and Cowboy Cerrone as the main event. Makes a lot of sense. Works well. You got 2 great names from the promotion and historical kind of background to the pair of them. Diego's last fight. It would have actually been perfect having that as the main event. But then that got pulled. The UFC kind of stuck, mate. They kind of went, well, we've got what we're going to do. Well, we know that they're lighter weight. They can probably do 5 rounds. If they are doing 5 rounds, I don't know if it's 5 rounds. It might be a 3-round event, but they know they're doing the main event. It is what it is. They're just there. Moy's in the house. Waterson by submission. Mystic Moy speaks. What? Waterson by submission. If she gets a takedown, she has got a good back taken game. She did that well in the last fight, I believe it was. So, yeah, she could. But we're going to talk in the middleweight division first, though, with Phil Hawes against Kyle Daukaus, which is a wicked little fight in itself, man. Zarrukh faced a tall Asian fighter in his last fight. Yeah, was a big dog and made the rounds relatively competitive. He did, but he just didn't. It was competitive to an extent of, I felt, he was never in a strong position. No, it was competitive, like he was aggressive, but it never felt like he had his opponent in danger enough. I didn't feel like he controlled it. I felt like he was competitive, but not in control. It's all good fighting back, but if you're not fighting back and winning, and I think Benoit can mix it a bit more up. I hope. If he doesn't, Benoit, go join another promotion. Phil Hawes, though, the kind of man that's known for me as the guy got absolutely sparked, battered, KO'd, knocked into another millennium by the Julian Marquez head kick on Dana White Contender Series. You know, that body just flopping down. Woof, that was something else. But he's come in, he's went away, come back. Fair enough to him. He's got the wins. He's got himself in. Jacob Malkoun, he got a win against Jacob, who's a bum. I stand by it. He's still a bum. Don't care that he won the last fight that he shouldn't have won. He's still a bum, in my opinion. The Imanov fight, man, that was a decision win where he fought very different. He kept his opponent close, kept it tight, was not interested in this. Kyle Daukaus round 3 submission, worst case scenario, draw after a point deduction for Hawes for his fence grabbing. Mate, I was going to mention this momentarily about the fence stuff. Like I say, the last fight, bro, he just changed it up. He went, I'm not going to go for the striking game. You need to keep Imanov close because Imanov's got the footwork, movement, striking, and he fought a different game, Phil, got him close to the cage and kept it there. There might have been potentially a little bit of cage grabbing, wee bit, here, there, and everywhere. The referee doesn't stop it. You keep doing it. The referee doesn't do point deductions, which I believe they should be. You know the rules when you go into the cage. I know the rules. You know the rules. Now, I've fought, so I know what the rules are. I have to know, and I have to remember what the rules are. But if you've not fought, you still know the freaking rules because you watch the sport and you see what they are. It does my tits in that they do not get a point deducted straight away. Because when you train MMA, you don't train in your gym to grab the cage. It's not an instinctual thing to grab it when you're at the gym. I don't train at the gym. The guys do jiu-jitsu. I don't grab their shorts to pin them down. I don't eye gouge them when I'm sparring with them. I don't train my fingers like a John Jones sparring match. So you don't drill it. So stop doing it. I get that, you know, if you're not cheating, you're not trying to win. But I do feel an immediate point deduction would change the fight game completely. You'd see a cleaner fight. You'd see more breakages on the cage. You'd see more people defending the takedowns. You'd see a lot more changes in that regard. You can do a point deduction after as well, you know, after the initial engagement has happened, all sorts. So I like to see a firmer hand with that stuff. But like you said, I felt Phil played a bit safer. With Kyle Daukaus, though, you've got a guy who wants the ground game, loves the submission game. And I thought it was interesting in his last fight against Dustin. In the fight against Dustin, he talked prior to that about wanting to use his hands more, not be going for the grappling, not go for the takedowns, and not do that. But he did it anyway. He did the instinctual thing where he wanted to get the fight to the ground, wanted to initiate the grappling. So I feel like he maybe, not that he went back on himself, but I feel like he went to his game plan of, I know what I'm good at, stick at it, and it's instinctual. He did get to throw his hands a bit, though, in the fight. And to be fair, he's not a bad striker at all. I think he's got some good hands. I think he's got some good pop in his hands, and he can cause problems. I think with Phil, if he tries to do the cage grappling side of things with Kyle will be happy with that. Kyle might be happy to pull it down to a grappling aspect, pull a guard, go for something else, reversals, because you've got to remember, Kyle is not a short fighter as well. 6'3", big long arms. Was it 76, 78 inch reach or something like that? So he's not short. You know, he's got the height advantage and reach slight advantage on Phil. I think Phil's got to go for the striking game here. He's got to keep on the feet, keep the range, and land the hands. I'm actually going towards Kyle on this one. I think Kyle can get hit 100%. I think he's open to getting struck. But I think with Phil, as long as you keep that distance and be smart about what you're doing at the start of the fight, you can absolutely get Kyle to the ground. Kyle can get Phil to the ground and get a submission win. So I'm actually going to go submission as well, bro. I think Kyle might get a little sneaky submission. Even if he goes for a takedown himself, Phil might go for a takedown, and there's a Darce choke available, guillotine choke available. There's all sorts of moves there where you could reverse that takedown into a submission. And Kyle's got the skill set, and he's quite quick with those movements to get that going. So I'm kind of going with Kyle, not Phil, Kyle Daukaus. Next fight that I'm absolutely stoked about. That I don't say it's going under the radar, but I do think it's one that people aren't really taking notice of, which is Diego Ferreira against Greg Gillespie. Greg Gillespie's back. I'm absolutely stoked to see this dude back. After his loss to Kev Lee, the dude is back. He's back on board. Was meant to fight Brad Riddell, which would have been a phenomenal fight. That fight would have been epic as well. You also had Diego Ferreira, who lost a split decision in his rematch to Beneil Dariush. Again. So him and Beneil are decision boys, but it was a good back and forth battle, really entertaining. It seemed that they kind of still hadn't figured one another out yet. I Mr. Disagree today. Yeah, Hawes is very strong. He is. The sub comes late. If it does for Daukaus early, Hawes is live for a KO. Daniel, 100%. I am not going to deny that Hawes got pop in nose, hands. Hawes can hit hard. I think that Daukaus, if I'm anything, I'm going to engage that grappling side of things. I'm going to get the fight closer, keep him on the end of my punches, see what I can do with that. To KO Daukaus, coin flip. Yeah, it is going to be a good one. That'll be an interesting matchup as well, because you've got definitely the grappler striker kind of scenario going on there. And ladies and gentlemen, I see there's a few more people tuning in. If you're new to the channel, as I said, thank you very much for tuning in. The subscribe button is down below. Hit that. It takes 1 second to hit the sub button. Hit the like button to the video. Like me and Will have said, we're trying to get more viewers all the time. We're nearly at 1,300. 20 away from 1,300 subs. So if you are there, please hit that sub button. Everyone counts. It's great to get those numbers up. And we're going to, like I say, that fight with Diego Ferreira and Greg Gillespie is disgustingly delicious. Oh, love it. Absolutely love it. You've got a veteran of the game, Diego Ferreira. He's been around for freaking ever, it feels like. The dude's been around a long time. He's what, 7 years? 7 years, sorry. He's been around 7 years now. The dude has fought a lot of who's who guy, your Beneil Dariush's, your Dustin Poirier's. You know, he's fought Tysonov, he's fought Pettis, Kabilov. He's fought a lot of solid guys in that division. He's done well in his own right. He's always seemed to have evolved as well for years. He's suddenly got better and better. You got Gregor Gillespie, who is a machine with the cardio. His power's strong. He's got great wrestling. He's got ground and pound, which will hurt you. Chokes available because of the ground and pound. Diego Ferreira would be happy to get the fight to the ground and exchange on there. But at the same time, how is he going to feel off his back with the pressure of Gregor Gillespie throwing those punches on you? It's a different world. Gregor Gillespie as well, with that fight with Brad Riddell cancelled, it actually extended a bit longer now since his return. He hasn't fought since 2019. So you're going on nearly 2 years, for what, 18 months or so? That's a long time being out, don't get me wrong. But I think he'll be fit as a fiddle, sharp as, and I think he's going to be a devastating man in this fight. I don't see him having any point in engaging in the striking. Diego Ferreira's striking has improved a lot over time. He's definitely controlled his jab a lot more. He sits behind his punches. He's very smart with that. And I think he's went leaps and bounds. His takedown defense isn't too bad, to be fair, for Diego Ferreira. But you're fighting a guy with Greg Gillespie who I just can't see Diego stopping the takedowns enough. I just feel like Greg can get, if he gets that first failed takedown, he can get a second or a third. He can chain wrestle it all day long. Daniel, it's exactly what I was thinking. It is a great delay for him, you know, because that was a pretty nasty knockout that happened to him. And it, you know, sometimes they say 6 months to a year. There's nothing wrong with an 18-month recovery plan at all. He was in fight camp for the Riddell fight, so he's not been off peak. So he's already had that first fight camp out of the way. So now that he's got the full fight camp for the second fight, I think he'll probably feel a bit better for that. Wanted to pick Diego, but yeah, he's shown that he can be controlled these lightweights. Yeah, Diego's natural 145er. Yeah, I think as well, it's not just the lightweights. I think when you have a specialized expert in wrestling, when the likes of Greg Gillespie and stuff like that, he's more controllable on the ground than if he were fighting a guy who's got decent wrestling, like a standard MMA fighter with a decent wrestling background. When you're fighting a specialist, I think he's going to have a tough time of it. I just think that ground pressure, that top game that Gregor has, it's going to be a bit much for Diego Ferreira. 3-round fight, ideal. Good win for Gregor to get back. I think he should get the W on this one. He might get, would I say stoppage? He is hard, Diego. He is tough as nails. And to be fair, he hasn't been stopped since 2015. I'm going to go maybe decision for Gregor Gillespie, but I think it'll be a dominant one. It might be a 27, maybe 26-30 kind of decision win. I think he might get way better control in this fight than most people might think, but I think Gregor's got the W here in my opinion. Diego can get a submission as well, though. He has got that wicked submission game on him. But I'm going to go Gregor Gillespie. I think he can get a win here. Next up, we have in the 170 division. Quickly make a little note of that as well. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, I will absolutely forget. Here we go. Yeah, it is. That's the problem. It's the specialist side of things, brother. It is. I think if it was like Brad Riddell he was fighting, I think then it actually favors the wrestling, favors Diego, because he can maybe initiate the grappling and go for the grappling game, get his submission game involved. But when you flip it over to someone who's just a wrestler, it's harder. Definitely harder. And we've got, like I said, lightweight division. No, welterweight division. Freaking hell. Don't know where I am. In the welterweight division, Neal Magny faces Geoff Neal. Love it. I'm loving this. Adley decision. We have a feeling we'll see a good Gregor performance. I hope we do. I just think he's a freaking great little talent to watch. And, mate, I can't wait to see what he can do in the fight, man. So, yeah, looking forward to that matchup. There's a couple of fights on here. This is another one, like I said to you, Magny and Neal. I'm looking forward to this fight too. Freaking wicked little fight. Let's go to Neal Magny, who's one of the guys with the best cardio in that division by a country mile. Got dominated by Chiesa. That's Neal Magny's biggest flaw is the wrestling side of things. He always has a problem with guys who have the strong wrestling background. And if you get guys who can grapple with you, he'll have a tough time. But Robbie Lawler fight, fought well there. Liang, beautiful performance in that fight. Rocky Martin, another solid performance. I feel like he's been fighting really well of late, Neal Magny, and he's always shy of that elite welterweight division. He's that perennial top 10 guy, but he's not quite the title contender kind of guy. No one ever really sits there and goes, Gregor, title contender. He's fighting a tough guy in Neal here, man. I'm looking forward to see what happens with it because Geoff Neal hits hard, man. Rusty Tenakun, I think this is your first comment. Thank you very much for this. Wrestler striker, wrestler wins. Generally, I am like that as well, bro. I generally tend to lean towards a wrestler because you start the fight in the feet. Wrestlers start in the feet and they get you to the ground, and the strikers don't have the best get-up game. But brother, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Great to have you on board. Feel free to comment on all the other fights and let us know what your picks are. But if you're new, hit that sub button and hit the like button too if you get a second, brother. Now, Geoff Neal for me, dude hits hard, powerful striking, nice stoppage in Mike Perry. He's got good head kicks. I think in the Belal Muhammad fight, great back and forth battle. It was a good win for him. Then he come against someone in Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. That's when things obviously changed. You saw that it was a bit of a harder fight for him to get the W on. You know, he just couldn't figure out that style. His footwork threw him off. The movement threw him off. He just couldn't quite get onto it. He couldn't quite fight. You know, he couldn't get his feet going. And I feel there he was a bit done. I really do. And I think here he'll have a bit of a problem with this. So, and we've got that fight coming up where I think he might have a problem again. I think he'll have a problem with this fight with the likes of Neal Magny, who's just so long. Like, Neal is so long. Neal chews up Magny's lead leg and defends the takedowns. Man, I don't think Magny's not going for takedowns. I can't see him go for a takedown in this fight. No chance. Now, that was the biggest thing against Ponzinibbio was the leg kicks, something there that stuck out like a sore thumb. But you didn't see the problem arise. There's got to be something Neal Magny took on board. He must have taken that on board, looked at it, looked at his footwork, and looked at maybe potentially changing it. You have to take, if you take Magny down, you've got a great chance of winning. But I think Neal Magny here can be a bit of a problem for Geoff Neal again. Footwork, land strikes, cardio. Geoff Neal, he's got power, but how long does that power transfer through? He lost in the third round outside of the UFC. But in the first couple of rounds, he's got that pop, 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 pop. He lost outside again of the UFC in the third round. He's got these 1-2 rounds of power, but if you look at the Wonderboy Thompson fight, he caught Wonderboy with a clash of heads. And that was what really hindered Wonderboy, was that blood coming down because of the clash of heads by accident. It happens. Everyone seen headbutts happen in the fight game. It's not an intentional thing sometimes, and that certainly wasn't. It was the movement the two of them made kind of caused each other to clash heads. Wonderboy didn't take much damage. Neal Magny, he surprises people. I like him a lot. I think he's a wicked little fighter. I think Neal Magny might get a win here as well over Geoff Neal. I think Geoff's a bit heavy on the foot. I think Neal can maybe outwork him on the feet a little bit with the jab. Definitely striking. He'll have more potential output. It's that range, man. Neal Magny range is freaking annoying, and he's good at it, man. He's solid at that. So yeah, I'm going to sway towards. I'm going to sway towards Neal Magny win. Now, a lot of people might not be going on it. They might go towards. They might be going towards Geoff Neal. Look at the power. I kind of can get behind that too, man. But yeah, let's have a look at Geoff Neal when he fought. Who was it again? Nico Price. That was it. Nico Price. That was a wild fight as well. Nico Price, dangerous with hands. He's a tough fighter and a tough opponent too. With respect, look at Magny's fights against RDA and Lorenzo Larkin. Is the same thing here for me. I know, but RDA's a former world champ. Lorenzo Larkin, one thing about Lorenzo Larkin was it annoyed me. He was one of the best dudes on the planet on his day. That dude was freaking awesome. He had power. He had speed, ferocity. He was fucking awesome, Lorenzo Larkin. He just couldn't put it together on a consistent basis. He absolutely done my nuts in. RDA has always been consistently solid. But yeah, it isn't ideal. It isn't ideal when you get these kind of matchups where you think to yourself, can he hold off? Can he get the fight win? Can he do this? Can Neal Magny stay away from the power? That's all you got to do. You stay away from the power, you've got a better chance of getting this fight. Simple as that. You've got to stay away from those hands. He's got to use the footwork. I'm going to go with Neal Magny because one of the things he's got away with is that he can get away with the striking like that because of his cardio so strong. He can definitely avoid it a bit more, and he's certainly better performing for that reason. So that's why I'm going to sway towards him on this one, but I'm not overly confident. Not overly confident, but I do believe he can do it. Let's have a look. Bo Jackson. Good show. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much for the comments. I just want to say thank you for joining in, tuning in, and if you're new, hit the subscribe button. Feel free to hit the like button too, brother. I believe this is your first ever comment. Magny's defo live. He is. He's one of the more underrated welterweights in the division. Constantly gets overlooked, overshadowed, and I think he is one of the better guys in the division as a whole. Really, I do like him a lot. Yeah, so I'm going to go Neal Magny. Next up, we have in the 115-pound division, like I said before, Amanda Ribas, not Amanda's ass, Amanda Ribas, is looking to bounce back after a loss to Marina Rodriguez, who's fighting on the card also. And she gets an ideal girl, 13-9 Angela Hill, who's just a perfect opponent to fight, in my opinion. I think she is 100%. Neal Magny's no chance to clinch this decision, in my opinion. Hey, Neal's clinch game is solid, though, isn't it? Those knees go right up the pipe. Absolutely rough day. Has Magny ever been KO'd? If he's likely to outlast Neal, right? I don't think. I think even if you have been stopped by strikes, it doesn't mean that you can't. Like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson had been knocked out prior to the Geoff Neal fight, and he was able to hold his own in it. So again, I do sometimes look at if you've been stopped by strikes and how often you've been stopped by strikes is a big factor. If you've been stopped by strikes multiple times, it is a bit of a questionable one. He lost to Ponzinibbio via strikes, but that was probably the leg kicks that really did that one for him. Lorenz Larkin, Mike Ritchie. So yeah, it's like a couple of fights back there, but Neal Magny's career goes over 10 years. He stopped like 3 or 4 times, but when he's fighting as often as he has, when you look at his numbers, it's a high number. Yeah, I don't feel Magny is overlooked. Yeah, he just has a ceiling. This is one of the fights he loses. Leach win was a nice win for him. The Leach win, mate, it was just a great performance to watch. And you just saw what he can do when he fights well, when he puts it together, when he has that confidence going. He can really start to click things together. I just think for me, beating Magny, wrestling's a big one. If you can grapple with him getting down, you can get a W over Magny pretty easily, pretty safe. I think when you keep on the feet, you lay out the chances for him to get a win. He can outwork you with the cardio. You're not going to out cardio Neal Magny. So good luck with that. So then you got to rely on having the more output. He can output you. He can hit you on there with his strikes. He's got great cardio, which means he's got a good chin. Yeah, the Ponzi KO late happened. Yeah, Magny was durable treat. Yeah, he just took it, didn't he? He was tough as shit in that fight, man. Tough as. And that's another thing. Magny's tough, so he can stick in there. I've seen Magny hurt in fights, get to the cage, kind of handle the situation, get the clinch game, and carry it on. So he's not a pushover, you know. So I'm not even writing Geoff Neal off. Geoff Neal's got proper power in his hands, and that's all I think. That's my only worry is I want to see more from Geoff Neal's fight game. I want to see a bit more footwork. I want to see a bit more angles. I want to see more feints. I want to see setting up the strikes more. I want to see him set up those stoppages. He's got the pop. He's got the power. He's got the skill. I want to see you adding to your game to up your striking, because when you go up the ranks, that's what you've got to add. You can't have that. My go-to is I throw a head kick, I throw my hands, and you go down. You can't stick by it all the way, because the people see that and then they counter it. They think what's going to happen. They realize and they adjust to it. You cannot do that. Now, we're going to go to the next fight, because I did mention it before, but I'll mention it again. Angela Hill, Amanda Ribas is going down. Look, Amanda Ribas got stopped in the last fight by the main event in Marina Rodriguez. She just got outclassed by a better striker, is the best way to put it, you know. Marina Rodriguez was a stronger fighter. On the ground, though, Ribas ended the round on top. Ribas showed a little hole in the game, which obviously we'll mention in a bit against Waterson. But Ribas kind of let that go and didn't stick at it, didn't chase it down, didn't stay at it. Now, don't get me wrong. She's done well on her feet in fights where she has outstruck girls, but she just needs to stick to something that works. A girl like Angela Hill, you can get her to the ground, you can get on top of her, and you can outwork her. If I'm Amanda Ribas, you're doing the same thing here. Get on top, get the points, get the win, whether it's a W or whatever it is. She is susceptible to submissions, Angela Hill as well, potentially. She has been armbarred in the past. She has been choked out in the past. So there is submissions there on her. They just, for some reason, a lot of fights don't go for them. But you can beat Angela Hill. She is very beatable. When she's 13-9, it kind of says it all. And Angela Hill's just milking that UFC fight ticket as much as she can, get as many. She's like Ronda Marcos. She's getting as many fights as they can before they get cut. They're never fighting for the title. They're getting paid wedge for, well, they're getting paid enough, so they're getting a wedge for it. That's all they're doing. They're just getting that money in the bank. And then when the fight game's gone, they'll do whatever they do afterwards in life. But yeah, I just don't see Angela Hill having anything here that's going to blow me away. I don't think she's going to hit Amanda Ribas hard enough to stop her. I think she'll not be strong enough to stop Ribas. I think Ribas is going to be bigger, stronger in this fight. I think it's a kind of, I don't want to say a gimme win, but it's one I am uber confident in. If I was going to put money on anyone, it'd be Amanda Ribas all day long in this fight. I think she should get a W here very easily, potentially by submission. Ribas by submission. Daniel, look at that. Boom. She's showing at this weight her chin isn't the best thing, though. So it isn't the best thing, but then again, is she fighting the right girls? And is she... No, I wouldn't say right girls. She's not putting her chin in the right place when she's fighting. She's exposing herself when she strikes. And that's something you've got to learn when you're striking, is to protect the chin. Hence the example. When you're striking, if you have your hands up, classic 11 o'clock, bomb, bomb. You've got your right hand up, you throw a jab, okay? When you throw the jab, your shoulder is your protector. You're protecting your hand here. You replace it with the shoulder, okay? Same again. If I throw a right straight, pal, okay? When I throw the right straight, I do the same again. The shoulder is the protector of my chin. If I do not do that when I'm striking, if I throw my strikes, if you look at Amanda Ribas, when she throws a strike, she throws maybe a strike, she might put her hand down, she put the chin up a little bit. The chin needs to be down. You know, if you're not good at bringing the shoulder there, keep the chin down when you throw your strikes. When you're throwing the pop and the punches, you need to keep that chin protected. You need to keep the neck in a little bit more. Just don't elongate your neck and elongate your head. So you put it out there, the chinny chin is there, and you're going down. Yeah, I have faith in ATT that they'll drill the takedowns, back take here, and rear naked choke Hill. Rear naked choke, I would like to see that too. I think that's a possibility because Angela Hill will obviously fight to get up, and the fight to get up, sometimes you have to give up your back, so to speak. You have to get onto all fours to get up. So I can see where you go with that one. So boom, we agree there, bro. Heavyweight division again. Ben Rothwell, Philipe Lins. It's not really a great heavyweight couple of contests on this fight card, is there? Like, it's like Ben Rothwell. I don't know where that guy's gone. Lost where was it, 2016, got banned for whatever he did, for being naughty. And he was in the same fight since, to be honest with you. I've not been overly impressed. He lost decisions because he's tough and durable. Cardio's a bit weak. Beat Stefan Struve. No one cares beat Stefan Struve. Split decision OSP. OSP had a dabble at light heavyweight, but to be honest with you, Ben Rothwell's one of the biggest, stronger heavyweights in that division. The dude is a thick set dude and strong as shit. I don't see how Ribas beats a veteran like Hill. Okay, Rusty, cool, let's go for it. If not for bad judging, she would be on a 7-fight win streak against high-level competition. Good luck getting Hill down. Look, sometimes Angela Hill, her decisions didn't go her way, but she didn't always land the strikes, though, when she throws the combinations. Plus, she's split decision against Michelle Waterson, split decision against Claudia Cadella. Then she lost to Yong Yang. Then she lost the armbar to Randa Marcos. So, yeah. 7-fight win. Yeah, she would be a 7-fight win streak if she lost those. She is a veteran, Hill, but I just don't. I just don't see much in her skill set, bro. That's the only thing. She's average all round. Rusty, yeah. Don't be brainwashed by the Hill. She lost a few of those decisions legitimately. I just think that Amanda Ribas got high ceiling. That high ceiling all day long. Okay. Now, the ceiling of Hill, that's capped, that's reached, but you got to look at the weight difference and the size difference, mate, as well as a big factor for this. So I think Angela can get taken down with this. There's no cut. So yeah, it might be. It might very well be Angela there, Dan. I think it might be. But yeah, Philipe Lins as well. Dude went on PFL, did well on there, big whoop, and then came to UFC, and it's not went well, has it? He's lost 2 in a row. Tanner Bozier absolutely sparked him out in the first, showed that speed is a bit of a conundrum for him. Didn't look superb against Arlovski, but Arlovski, to be fair, just fights well nowadays. He's a smart fighter, logical dude, just outthinks shit. Ben Rothwell, man, his cardio was bad against Marcin Tybura, who is a bit of a cardio machine in that heavyweight division. So, yeah, I can see why that is. Look, Hill's grandparents, Benny and Betty Hill, were abducted by aliens. Don't trust her words. That's a good point. That's a good point, Moise. I'm with you on that one. They're all scammers. In all seriousness, if you're confident, a small bet on Hill by decision would reward you well. It would indeed. It would indeed reward you well. So we'd always say, I'd put the bet. If the numbers are there for Hill to win a decision, put that money on. Do you know what? Because she has a 100% legitimate chance of getting that W. So, because she's shown in the past where she comes up green against some girls. So, and she's caught me off guard a couple of times in the fights. But yeah, Ben Rothwell, he's not got the greatest cardio. He's not really. He has got power in his hands in the first round, and that's where he's going to get Linz maybe. But Linz, what is Linz going to do in this fight is going to blow me away. What? He could maybe throw the strikes, but Ben Rothwell's so tough, he can take a punch. You really want to get Ben Rothwell to the ground. You know, he can get taken down, Rothwell. You can see in the past, it's not easy, but you can get him down. You can get submissions potentially on him. Man, it's a hard one, Rothwell against Linz. I've got bloody no confidence in either one of these guys. I think purely for the fact of his post-fight interview that made me laugh and made everyone else laugh, I'll go for Ben Rothwell. I might pick a decision here for Ben Rothwell. Again, veteran experience might be a factor for me in this one. He knows how to maybe get the first 2 rounds under his belt, play it easy in the third where he's tired. He's tough and durable. It's hard to put him away. I think Linz would have a tough time getting it away, but man, it is not. Here we go. Sorry, let's go here first. Not sure, but did Linz get busted for PEDs? I wonder if being off the juice is why we're seeing the real Linz. I know Ben Rothwell got popped, but with heavyweights, it's hard to keep up with who doesn't get. My new rule is if I have an underdog, I lead a place. Small bet on it, yeah, nothing worse than being right and leaving money on the table. Yeah, a small bet is the better idea. I'll tell you what I'll do. Rusty, let's have a look here. Philipe Linz ban. We'll do that. Let's see if he gets popped. Philipe Linz ban. After cancellation, Philipe Linz. No, there we go. Let's go. Suspended. Let's type in the word suspended. How's that one? Okay, let's go. Suspended. We'll have a quick look here while we're on. Sorry, folks. We're going to quick look here. We've got UFC heavyweight recalls leaving the sport. Entered the octagon first. Took incident, stopped again. Medical suspension. No, it's a 6-month. Don't see anything on there with Philipe Linz getting taken off. Oh, suspension hit Rothwell. No. Medical issues. I don't see anything USADA based. I don't know. I don't see anything there with Linz. But, bro, if you find anything, feel free to pop it on there. But they're all on the juice anyway, remember. Nate Diaz said it. They're all on the juice. The juice doesn't help you chin all the time. Not necessarily, no. Linz is on the juice and getting knocked out in other promotions too. So, look, Nate Diaz said it. We've got to stick with what he says. It's true. They're all on juice. Yeah, I'm going to go towards Ben Rothwell in that one. I just feel he might get that W. So, we're going to go next to the main event. That was quick. Main event is Marina Rodriguez against Michelle Waterson. Like I said before, Marina Rodriguez shows there is a hole in the game big time, which is the grappling aspect. She needs to work on the takedowns a little bit, stop girls getting it down. Carla Esparza especially did it. Amanda Ribas did it. You know, she's had 5 months to maybe work on that with her coaches. She's got the striking acumen. She can outwork girls on the feet. Michelle Waterson definitely has changed her style fighting over the years. She's slowed down a lot more with the kicks, as in reducing the amount she throws out. She did at one point look tremendous, beating Courtney Casey, Felice Herrig, and then Karolina Kowalkiewicz. But let's look again. Kowalkiewicz on a downward kind of angle. Lost to JJ, Carla Esparza, bounced back with Angela Hill. But Michelle Waterson is one of those ones, you know, she's one of those girls, she's 35 years old. She's not getting younger. The division is not an older division to be in. If she was a heavyweight, it would suit her perfect. But you've got to look at what coming through with like your Marina Rodriguez is, the girl's talented. She's 34 as well, which is weird, but the girl looks fresher. She looks more deadly in this weight class. Long arms, long reach, great hands. Michelle Waterson has got to go for takedowns all day long. I think she's going to try and definitely go for a submission. Here we go. It was funny when Conor called Nate out in the press conference for half his team getting busted for PEDs. Yeah, I know. It's funny that was. If Rothwell comes out fast, yeah, like he does with Tybura, I could see him getting an early finish. Yeah, Bo, I'm with you on that one. He could, if he comes out quick, puts Lynn's under a bit of pressure, he could definitely catch him out and definitely hurt him in that fight. I'm with you on this one, 100%. Let's go to next comment there. Boom, Daniel. Marina for the win. Rodriguez shown she's allergic to grappling, though she maybe Waterson can get something going. My worry is that Waterson could get the grappling game going. She's actually quite good at getting the back because she's very flexible. So she's good at getting the legs over and hooking them in. If you watch her when she gets those hooks in, she's really good with that dexterity. So she hasn't got a bad back take at all. And Michelle Waterson, that was one of the things I kind of liked about what she could show. She was meant to fight Amanda Rodriguez in December, but she would January, but she withdrew. So it's weird they didn't rematch them up on the same card, but it's what it is. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing what she can bring in that one. Definitely, I think it's an interesting matchup for her. So yeah, I'm gonna say that she's got a lot about her in this fight, Rodriguez. I think she's got the kicks that can cause problems for Michelle Waterson and the hands. She's got the clinch game, which is solid. Absolutely wicked little clinch game. I think she can cause a lot of headaches, a lot of striking problems. So I am looking forward to seeing what she can do with this. But as a whole, though, on the fight card, I think Michelle Waterson has to get takedowns. If she wants to get a win, she wants to get anywhere close to getting this W, she has to get this fight to the ground here and get the rounds under her belts. It's a 5-round fight. How long can she do takedowns for? How long can she wrestle? I don't know how long Michelle Waterson can wrestle for. So I'm a little bit cautious. Rodriguez is sketchy to bet on. She's a good opponent, though, even against Joanna, she had a real sneaky back take. Yeah. While she was getting her ass kicked. So Michelle's a live dog, 100%. Yeah, I like her, though. Yeah, I like Rodriguez, too. A draw is possible in the main event, I feel. That's it. If Michelle can get the takedowns, she could maybe get 3 rounds under her belt. But can she keep up 5 rounds of wrestling? She's not necessarily a wrestler per se. As we know, she's a karate martial artist. She'll want to maybe stand to see how she feels on the feet, I think. She'll want to get a feel, see if she can get advantages on the feet. If she's not getting anywhere with it, she might then go towards the wrestling side of things. She might take a round to decide that. But I kind of feel Marina Rodriguez has got the hands ability. She's got the striking ability. I just want a bit more urgency on the feet. I wanted to get up a bit quicker. I want to fight for that dogged kind of sprawl, grappling, kind of scrambling. I wanted to get up more. Michelle Waterson is a veteran, fought the who's who in the division, so she could absolutely get the W here with a decision win, be a smart girl, stay in contention at 115. Marina Rodriguez, I'm going to lean towards, but I wouldn't be shocked or amazed if she didn't. It'd be definitely raging. Great to have you on here, bro. This is going to be super sloppy, early lean. Is Rothwell decision via cage smothering? Yeah, those big man boobs. Lovely, hairy chested moves. Sweaty move event. 5 rounds for Marina. Can't see her knocking out Michelle. I can't see her knocking out Michelle, but you see Michelle Waterson, she takes an absolute pasting as well. She can get hit for a long time, and she keeps coming. So she is a durable little punch bag at times. Marina can sit you down at any moment. And that's it. I think that she's hittable, Michelle. I think she can get hurt. And I think if I'm Marina Rodriguez, clinch with someone like Michelle Waterson, you got the height advantage over, get those elbows coming in and get the knees to the body. Really mix up the clinch game, get her against the cage, clinch against the cage. A lot of work. Yeah, Jackson Wingard smart. They'll have it tightened up. Watson's wrestling against top division. Yeah, they are. They have to be. Love a little bit of moves. Man boobs all the way. And let's quickly shoot on to the betting side. And again, if you are new to the channel, never subscribed before, me and Will would love to get to 1,300 subscribers. So anyone who's free to subscribe, who hasn't done already, hit that button. It'd be much, much appreciated. I was going to look for some fight betting lines. So for some reason, there's not a lot of betting lines around on that fight card. That's weird, isn't it? Let's go with Michelle Waterson. It's like the fight card's getting looked over. Like no one's even interested in it, even bookies. Maria Rodriguez. Let's go to. Can we get any odds here? Let's go to. Let's try this one out. I've got Neal Magny around plus 150 against Jeff Neal, who's a strong minus 200. So Jeff Neal, your dog money's there. Again, Angela Hill, she's a plus 150. Ribas is a plus 200. Again, money favouring on the Ribas line, which I think we all expected that to happen anyway. So that's not a big surprise. There we go. Let's go for the odds here. Any odds? Do you know what? Where have all the odds gone for this fight card? There's none. What is going on? Absolutely not. Shocking fight odds. Let's go to... Weird, man. I've got no freaking odds anywhere around. We'll go to... Let's see what we'll get here. Here we go. Fight odds. I did have some fight odds before, but I clicked on the full screen. There wasn't much going on there, so that's a bit of a shame. Year end of the day, I like Marina too. Bigger girl, yeah, definitely bigger girl. Watson could have maybe, in a day made down to 105. Clinton Harrison, I joined late today. UFC Bet Experience, bro. I did it early because I want to get home to, go back to do an evening to myself. So I'm doing a daytime show, bit of an early one. Carlston Harris, bro, I mentioned that earlier on in the podcast. I think he's got a wicked skill set. I think he could 100% do well in the division. And I have picked him for a W as well, man. I think people might, I'm not saying overlook him, but I think people might not be, I think they'll be surprised by what the cat can do. Oh, here we go. Here's some more odds popping around here. That's the 5 bet odds, but I want the whole freaking card because I'm selfish. Here we go. No PFL, go away. Bellator, go away. Here we go. This is it. Got them. We are going fight odds now. Boom. Rothwell and Linz, you're looking at on average, that's a pick 'em, minus 110 for both of them. I would stay clear of Ben Rothwell and Philipe Linz. You could do it, you could do under 2.5 rounds maybe, see what those odds are. Ribas again, she's a minus 170 actually on average. Angela Hill plus 130. Jeff Neal, again, minus 200 on average. Magny plus 150. So that's not a bad one either. Thomas, it is an early start, bro. I'm actually on the betting side already because I'm having an evening off. So because it's not bank holiday weekend in the UK, so I'm having some chill time. I'm relaxing before I do tape study for the epic card next week. Strickland Jarry 150 plus cashed it. Get in there, mate. Great fights, great wins, great money. Bada bada bing. Dollar bills, y'all. Good to hear, man. Let's break down later. Thank you very much, brother. I hope you're doing well. I hope life is treating you well. Thomas, again, buzzing for your little parlay, man. It's always great to see stuff. Love people getting paid. Diego Ferreira, Greg Gillespie. Ferreira is a plus 150. Gillespie minus 180. So that's pretty good odds there for Ferreira, who's a veteran. If you want to go for a dog, I'm pretty solid on the Gregor one, though, because of the holes in his game. Like we said, Rodriguez is minus 170, and Waterson is your dog money. Bang, she's plus 140 at the moment. You want dog money, you might want to go that way. Ryan Benoit is minus 150, about minus 150. Adashev plus 125. I'd go Benoit on that one. The Lima, he is a minus 180. Maurice Greene plus 140. I'd go to Lima too. You could even parlay to Lima as well. Jung Young Park plus 120 against Tafon, who's a minus 150. Honestly, I think Park is one of the surprise live bets. He's definitely a picking one. Try Bet 360. What I've done, bro, is I've went to best fight odds because they give me a kind of average odds over across a lot of websites. That's what I like to use. I think their odds are up there. Cashed in the draw. Which one was that, bro? And hit Strickland, Mirab, Jiri play. I'm riding high this week. Definitely raging. That is, mate, sometimes you get fights cards that have those on and you've got to go for it. You'll get cards that don't have those fights, the bet on and to put together. You did the right thing at the right time. Some weeks you get them. Sometimes you don't. You steer clear. You like parking this fight. I do, Thomas. I actually do. Thinking of parlaying in Nchukwi with plus 180. I'll tell you why, Thomas, quickly, like I said before in the breakdown, he's got a good fight IQ, Park. John Phillips, solid striker. What did he do? Wrestled him. Saw the game plan. I think Tafon is a guy you grapple with. You get him to the cage. You tie those big, fat, massive arms that he has, and fat neck, and fat shoulders, and fat other muscles that other humans don't have on them. And you just tie them out. You get on top of them. You take his pop away. The picket fight that Tafon had, you saw in the second, third round, that pop and his power was gone. The third round, the power wasn't there. It was like he had to get the energy up. Van Park, I'm wrestle heavy. Get him down. Grapple, grapple, grapple. That's my game plan for him. You do not want to stand with him. Come second, third round, you can maybe open up a bit more, but that's it. Carlston Harris is a minus 150 against Aguilera, who's a plus 120. Solid odds there. I think it's bang on for Harris. Klein is minus 250 against Trizano, who's a plus 200. That's like a big gap, but it's a shame because I would have bet on Klein, but he's way too strong on those odds. Daukaus, though, he's a minus 130, 140 on round the odds. Hawes plus 120. I'm kind of going with Daukaus as well, guys. So there's some good odds about there, and there's some potentials. I'd go Nchukwi, Neal, and Ribas. And look, I would say they are 3 solid picks, and you can get good money there, Daniel. If Park gets the fight to the mat, he wins for sure. And that's, I think, it's what you got to go with. You got to go with what's there, what's available. You got to think. I think he showed a good fight IQ, so I feel like he might have the confidence that he has a game plan. It's going to be smart. Why would I want to stand and bang with a guy who doesn't have a neck? Why would I do that with a guy who looks like he was molded by bloody sculptors and he just walks around like this? Boom, boom. Why would I do that? Get the guy to the ground. Park showed he's got good athleticism for himself. He's got good cardio. You can get the fight to the ground, work, get the fight down, get the fight out of the way. So that's where I'm going on the picks, definitely. Now, I know I did an earlier podcast, so if anyone's tuning in now, apologies, it's been an early one. Please, if you're new, hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button too. But we'll be back. I'm going to drop a message to Will. I'm sure I'll be getting Will's going to be free next week when we'll be breaking down the Charles Oliveira and Mike Chandler fight, which is going to be pretty sick for the vacant title, vacant lightweight title, which is going to be an awesome matchup. You've got Leon Edwards, Nate Diaz. You've got Ferguson, Dariush, Kukigan against Arroyo. You've got Burgos against Barboza, Jacare against Andre Muniz, Jack Manson against Edmund Shabazian. This actually is a hell of a stacked card. So let's all get excited for it. I'm bloody jacked for that fight card. I hope everyone else is, because that's going to be sick. Tafon is a tank, yeah, former light heavyweight, and Park is a former welterweight. Hence the speed and cardio comes in for Park. Park by decision. If you're on that side, they'll probably get good odds for it as well, brother. You're right. So look, bet safe, bet responsible. I hope, Thomas, something else comes off for you this week. But guys, I'm looking forward to next week. There's going to be a lot of bets on that one, I reckon, looking at it. I'm looking forward to it. I hope Oliveira can win the title submission, yeah. Get taken down by Chandler. Get the submission with a triangle off his back. But ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. I love you all. It's been great to have you in, joining the conversation as always. I'll be back as soon as I can. And just embrace the fight game, people. Okay? Embrace life. Embrace the fight game. I'll speak to you all soon.